How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll work out. Tomorrow I'll eat better. Tomorrow I'll finally start that project. Tomorrow I'll get my life together. But then tomorrow comes and you don't feel motivated. So you wait and you wait. And the next thing you know, it's 6 months to a year later. The problem isn't that you're lazy. The problem is you're waiting for a feeling that was never meant to be a consistent feeling. Motivation will get you started, but discipline will change your life. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Hannah, and this channel focuses on building stronger minds and building stronger bodies. So if you are on a journey to better yourself and build the best version of you, think about subscribing down below and joining the family. We would love to have you. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this video and let me explain to you why discipline always wins, because I promise you, girl, you will not always be motivated. Let's be honest, motivation feels amazing. It's that feeling you get when you're like, this is it. I am changing my life. You make the plan, you download the app, you buy the planner, maybe you even buy new workout clothes. And for a few days, everything feels so exciting. You're waking up early, you're eating healthy, you're getting things done. You feel unstoppable until one day you're tired, you're stressed, you had a bad day, and now you don't feel like doing it anymore. Suddenly, that motivation is gone. So you stop. Then you tell yourself, I'll start again on Monday. And this cycle repeats over and over and over again. But what if the problem isn't your motivation? What if you've simply been relying on something that wasn't meant to last? So here's the truth. Motivation is unreliable. It's temporary. Some days you're going to feel excited. Some days you're going to feel inspired. And some days you're going to feel absolutely nothing. And that's normal. The problem is we've created this idea that we think we always have to be motivated. We have to have this constant feeling of motivation in order to chase our goals and dreams. But we're not always going to feel motivated. We have to stop making our actions dependent on how we feel. Think about brushing your teeth, for example. You don't wake up in the morning and think, am I motivated to brush my teeth? At least I hope you don't. You just do it. Why? Because it's a habit. It's who you are. At least I hope it's who you are. And if not, girl, brush your teeth. And that's the goal with things that matter most in your life. You want to get to a point where you don't even have to negotiate with yourself every single day for these. Discipline isn't punishment. I think a lot of people misunderstand discipline. They think discipline means being miserable. It means forcing yourself to do things that you hate or you don't want to do. It means having no fun. But I personally don't think that that's what discipline is. Discipline is actually one of the highest forms of self-love and self-respect. Discipline is saying that you care enough about your future self that you are willing to do something today that your future self will thank you for. So just think about it like this. Going to the gym when you don't feel like it is not punishment. Studying when you'd rather watch Netflix is not punishment. Saving money instead of just impulsively buying things is not punishment. You're simply choosing your future over your present impulse. So we're also practicing self-control. And the more you practice that choice, the stronger you will become. Please stop making huge promises to yourself. Hear me out on this. One of the biggest reasons that people struggle with discipline is because they start out with a plan that's impossible to maintain. Absolutely impossible. I am all for a big dream, a big goal, but then you got to work backwards into the smaller ones, and then you build on each small thing. People want to go from doing absolutely nothing to doing absolutely everything. They sleep in till 11 a.m., but all of a sudden they're going to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. They only work out one day a week, but now tomorrow they're going to start working out 6 days a week. They don't read at all, but tomorrow they're going to read 50 pages every single day. They're going to meditate. They're going to meal prep. They're going to start a business. They're going to journal. And they're going to completely change their life by next Tuesday. And then when they inevitably cannot keep up, they think, I have no discipline. But baby, maybe discipline is not the problem. Maybe you have a planning problem. Instead of asking yourself, how can I completely change my life? Maybe ask yourself, what's the smallest version of this habit I can consistently do? If you want to exercise, start with 10 minutes. If you want to read, start with 5 pages. If you want to journal, start with 3 sentences. If you want to wake up early, start with 15 minutes earlier than you do now. Make the habit so easy that you have absolutely no excuse not to start, because consistency creates identity and identity creates lasting change. So here's one of my favorite ways to build discipline. The no 0 days rule. Never have a 0 day. This doesn't mean you have to have a perfect day. It means you do something. If you can't have a perfect workout, walk for 10 minutes. If you can't read a full chapter, read 1 page. If you can't clean your entire house, clean 1 room. If you can't work on your dream for an hour, give it 5 minutes. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is keeping the connection alive. Because every single time you show up, you're reinforcing that identity. I am someone who doesn't quit or give up on myself. And that is much more powerful than motivation. Make the right choice easier. Here's something important. Discipline isn't just about willpower. It's also about your environment. If your phone is sitting next to you, you're more likely to pick it up. If your workout clothes are already laid out, you're more likely to work out. If the healthy food is already prepared, you're more likely to eat it. If your book is sitting by your nightstand, you're more likely to read it. You don't need to become a completely different person. You need to make the behaviors you want to do a little bit easier, and then make the habits you don't want to do a little bit harder. Put your phone in another room. Put your running shoes by the door. Delete the apps that waste your time. Prepare tomorrow's lunch tonight. Your environment is constantly influencing your behaviors, so make it work for you. Here's going to be one of the biggest takeaways from this video. You don't need to feel ready. Chances are you're never going to feel ready. You don't need to feel motivated. You don't even need to feel confident. You just need to take the next step, because action creates motivation far more than that motivation is going to create the action. My next tip: keep promises to yourself. You guys know I'm big on this one. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you lose a little trust within yourself. You say you're going to wake up early and you don't. You say you're going to work out, but you don't. You say you're going to stop procrastinating, but you don't. Eventually, you start believing, maybe I'm not disciplined. But here's the good news. You can rebuild that trust. Start small. Make 1 promise to yourself and keep it. Tell yourself, I'm going to walk for 10 minutes today, and then do it. Tomorrow, make another promise, and then keep it. Over time, you're going to see that evidence. You're going to build that self-trust. You're going to build that confidence, and you're going to realize you're someone you can rely on. You're continuing to do what you said you were going to do. And that's where confidence comes from. Not from thinking you're capable, but from proving it to yourself. So here's the challenge I want to leave you with: the 5-minute rule. The next time you don't feel motivated to do something, tell yourself, I'll do it for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes. Work on the project. Clean the room. Go for the walk. Read the book. Start the workout. After 5 minutes, you can stop if you really want to. But most of the time, you'll find that starting is the hardest part. I'm a full-time personal trainer, and I use this 5-minute rule with all of my clients. Just show up. Just start. And if all you have today is 5 minutes, then 5 minutes it is. But typically, more often than not, they finish that entire workout. So use this in other areas of your life. Just get started. Sometimes that's the hardest part. And when you don't have that motivation behind you to push you, that is where discipline comes in. So 5 minutes, you can do it. 6 months from now, you're going to be somewhere. But the question is, where? You can spend the next 6 months waiting to feel motivated. Or you can start building that discipline that's going to carry you through the days that you don't feel motivated. You don't need to completely reinvent yourself. You don't need to become a completely different person. You just need to keep showing up. 1 decision, 1 habit, 1 promise to yourself at a time. Because eventually, those small choices, they become your life. So think of it this way. You're going to make choices regardless. Do you want to keep making good choices that are leading you towards your goals? Or do you want to make the bad, negative choices that are taking you away from it, or even worse, keeping you in the exact same place? The person you become is built by what you repeatedly do. So stop waiting for motivation. Start before you're ready. Start when it's hard. Start when you don't feel like it. Because your future self is not waiting for you to feel motivated. They're waiting for you to decide. If you're ready to stop waiting and start becoming the person that you know you can and want to be, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Every week we're talking about habits, discipline, mindset, and the small changes that completely transform your life. And I want to know, what's one thing you have been waiting to feel motivated to do? Drop it down in the comments below. I really want to know. I really want to hear. And then go do that for 5 minutes today. I hope this video helps you out in some way to realize that you don't have to always be motivated. You just have to create more discipline, better habits, build those habits up. That's what's really going to transform your life. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, loves.